Hello and welcome back to Xpwaste, where a stamina potion is just a shot of espresso. I'm Michael.
And I kind of like the way that sounds. Hi there, I'm Oxie. If you're new around here, we're a podcast that talks almost exclusively about old school RuneScape. Today, you're in for a treat. I think we're talking about a new QOL blog, which sometimes we touch on news, sometimes we touch on not the news, like our game knowledge, and sometimes we have guests and things like that. Regardless of what it is, our game knowledge sounds so pretentious. I apologize. That's not the goal. But sometimes we do like tier lists and things to, entertain you guys because we played this game more than any human should ever play any video game. I was on vacation this past week, and my younger cousin, he's 14 years old. He said, dude, the amount of hours I put into Red Dead Redemption is insane. Probably more than anyone's ever put into a video game. And one of my older cousins, his older brother, who's like 26, is like, Matthew plays RuneScape. And I'm like, 7,000 hours on my main. And my cousin went, what the hell? Like, he was so shocked at the amount of time that I have in this game. So yeah, not in like the pretentious way. It's like we do this a lot. So, we like to talk about our favorite game. If you're not new around here, I'm back. I'm home. We have the inferior podcast co-host. The lovely Hanani is not here this week. She'll be we'll call her out of her cave in January when it's time for her to come back. Right now she's in the process of brutally murdering people in Deadman, or not. I don't know. The episode comes out like 4 days after we record it, so maybe she's wiped at this point. Who knows? If she's wiped, blame me for it. I did it. Yeah. If you're not new around here, welcome back, Michael. How have you been this past week, man? I forgore how to podcast.
Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. You'll figure it out. I'm doing pretty good, man. I've missed you. It felt like longer than an entire week. I don't know why, but felt like I hadn't talked to you in months, and it was only probably 5 or 6 days. So, happy to have you back. I've been mining. I got 99 mining, as I teased in the last episode.
I was there.
He was there. Did it at Zalcano. I think for every skill that can be done at Zalcano, I'm gonna do it at Zalcano. That
you
just
realize
sounds like
that's every skill, right?
No,
You just bring lamps into Zalcano, and you could theoretically get 23.99s at Zalcano.
I mean, if you get an XP drop from killing or interacting with the boss, so that would be smithing, mining already did, and then rune crafting.
There's going to be a poll at the end of this episode. Tell us what you guys think. Do you want Michael to get 23.99s at Zalcano? Let us know in the description or wherever that is on Spotify.
It's just like every screenshot looks the same. But other than that, what have I been doing? I did a bit of wood cutting. I've switched. So now that I don't have mining as my AFK activity, I've switched to wood cutting. So I talked about getting rune crafting to 99 next, but that requires a bit of effort. For me to have a good time doing rune crafting, I'm gonna want the rune crafting outfit. And a little spoiler for this episode, we're gonna be talking about some minigame changes in the newest QoL blog. So I kind of put that dream of rune crafting on hold until I see what they're going to be doing with the mini games. Because right now, like, GOTR is doable, but if it's going to be better, I want to wait until after the changes go live. Because you just lose out on a bunch of runes if you don't have the rune crafting outfit when you're doing blood runes. And I could go, I think, 77 to 99. Realistically, I'll probably go 77 to 90 and then do soul runes from 90. But it would be hundreds of thousands of runes that I would not be getting if I did it without the outfit. And I'm gonna want, like, because I don't know if I'll be doing like a Zaya rune crafting the entire time, but I don't have the needle. Like, I don't have anything from GOTR, so I want to grind out the outfit. And plus, I'm only 65 rune crafting, so I have to get to 77. So it's going to be a bit of effort in time to get me to the point where I am going to be able to AFK rune crafting. So until then, I'm going to be doing wood cutting, I think. Either wood cutting or fishing. I can't decide. Or maybe I'll switch back and forth. But currently, I'm 200K till 90 wood cutting. And then I'm literally just going to blink and I'll have 99 wood cutting because redwoods are so freaking chill. And I'm very excited for it. I haven't really killed any bosses. I did a bit of gauntlet the other day. Still bad, I would say. I tried the corrupted gauntlet a couple times, failed, and then had to get my my confidence back by doing the blue one. And every time that I do gauntlet, I just think to myself, like, why are the drop rates so high on the regular gauntlet? Just give us like a 1 in 1,000, 1 in 750 or something. 1 in 2,000 for an enhanced is insane from regular gauntlet. It's still hard content. So, Jagex, if you're listening, please make the drop rate lower from the regular gauntlet, and I'll be a happy camper. But other than that, let's see. Nothing. I mean, I've been playing a bit of Deadman Mode, but I'm sure I want to save that conversation till not in like the weekly recap because I got a lot of thoughts on Deadman. Not that many, but I have some. But I mean, you were on vacation. Did you play it all this week? While you were out?
I went to a 99 mining party at Volcano on my group Iron Man, and that's it. That's all I did. I didn't play at all this week. It was great.
No.
Since I've been back yesterday, I've been like rounding out some like random levels. I got 94 construction, I got 96 thieving, I got 97 hunter, just like odds and ends and shit that I like have left. I have 158K until 91 rune crafting, so I guess I'm just gonna do that. Otis says Hanani saw me online. She did. So when they recorded that episode last time, they recorded it on a Friday night, which was the day before I left for vacation. So I truly was in between packing and doing Corrupted Gauntlet KC for the bingo, which, by the way, we did win the bingo. So shout out to Grimm's Germs for blacking out the board. The odds were stacked against us, and the haters said it was not possible. But we got it done, and we won. And we've actually had a pretty good time since. I quite enjoy the team that I was on. But no, I was doing Corrupted Gauntlet, and I think I got like 20 Corrupted Gauntlet done. Actually, it's hard. I think I went like 20 for 30 like attempts or something like that. Corrupted Gauntlet is hard. I got the perfect CG finally. If you hear the clicking, I'm at Zaya. So like you guys have been here with me before. You're gonna have to put up with the clicking. It could be worse. It could be Artie Nights.
Oh gosh.
No, but I also got sick like the last day of vacation. Like I woke up and I've not been feeling great.
Hate that.
Which, by the way, this all leads into one thing. You have one of these. I fucking hate this CPAP machine. This is.
Oh really?
I hate it. This.
Did you get diagnosed?
Yeah, they said I had like 31 something events an hour, and I'm like, oh, that's probably not good. So I like, need
Try
that.
a different mask because I don't like the mouth. I don't like the mouth one.
It pinches on my nose, and for some reason, it makes me feel like I can't breathe. And the guy was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I feel like it is forcing air into me, and I feel like I can't breathe because like when I exhale, it's like just carbon dioxide, and I can like feel it." And I'm like,
"It's probably because you're sick too."
Well, this has been the last 2 weeks. Like it's been so bad. It's been so bad these last 2 weeks. Like I think my sleep has been like just not great. Like I'll sleep for let's say 8 hours. I'll have the CPAP on for like 2 or 3, and then I like wake up in the middle of the night and have to like rip it off my face because I just can't breathe. Which I understand is the opposite of what the machine is used for. But when it ups the pressure in the middle of the night because it like detects it, it's like so forceful that I just don't get anything out of it, and I'm like, this sucks. So I'm sure the insurance company is going to call me on Monday, tapping their foot with their curlers in their hair, going, "Why the f are you not using your CPAP machine enough?" But like, I tried to tell you when you dropped the machine off that I couldn't breathe, but what do I know?
Yeah.
So I've been like giving it my best effort, but like my neck's been hurting because I feel like I can't sleep all the way in the normal position because I knocked the mask off. Like it's just been Sleeping has been frustrating with this dumbass mask. There was actually one night on vacation, we stayed up till like 3 a.m. around the fire, got a little drunk, and I was like, you know what? It's a treat. I'm not wearing this mask, and I didn't. It was great.
That's so funny. It's like you're sleeping better without it.
Like, it's so like
you get more restful night's sleep.
The thing is, like, I do snore, and if the option is like be uncomfortable or like get dementia, I guess I'll wear the fucking mask. But like, y'all got a really bad job of selling it right now. Like dementia in the short term, dementia sounds good, you know. But like, I don't know what to tell you. But it's gonna be one of the two. It's gonna be dementia or cancer. It's gonna be one of the two.
Do you breathe out of your mouth a lot when you sleep?
If my nose plugs, but if my nose doesn't plug, you know, it's
then I would talk to them about getting just like the nose pillows, they call it.
Yeah.
It leaves your mouth completely open and it just forces air into your nose. It's wonderful.
Which I think would be way better, because even if it's just like in through the nose, out through the mouth, like that feels even that would feel better. I don't know. I'm not a fan, but how we got on this topic, right? Sleeping's been annoying because the CPAP and whatever has been annoying. But on Friday, I was doing Crappy Gauntlet. I was indeed struggling. And then Saturday, I left for vacation. They had us complete a Soul Reaper axe as a tile. And I know that I have suggested that tile several times. Having done that tile, I don't know if a Soul Reaper axe is a TNL bingo tile. I really don't.
Any 4 axe pieces?
That's basically a Soul Reaper axe.
Oh, true. Well, I mean, like you could get 2 from Duke.
But it's got to be, you'd have to send everyone to the same boss. Like, because it's not like, you know, just get 4 Berserker rings and you have one guy camp Rex for an evening and you get all 4 rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure somebody who went super dry at DKs is, you know, up my ass about that comment. But like the way the axe rolls work and the way the ring rolls work, basically, like once you get one, you're like reset on drop rate. It's just, those bosses have really weird drop mechanics. So maybe one day, I don't think that's a fall bingo tile. Like I really wanted it as like a super difficult tile during skill tree bingo. And that shit is so unrealistic. It's like other difficult pieces of content in the game. This bingo, if anything, affirmed that I am a group gamer, not a solo gamer. You know, like being able to, you know, survive at Tob and like run 410s and like guide people who have like never been to chambers and like, you know, have them all survive running head, because like when in doubt, set it left, like keeping my cool, like that is totally fine for me. But big red moose dog bear lion thing, fuck that. I'm not good at it. I also got to try my hand at Vardorvis, which was an experience. Vardorvis hard, but they made it through. So yeah, now I'm just sort of like chilling. I don't know. Like I said, some of the bingo teammates, they all made hardcores last night, and I also made a hardcore that I haven't bonded up and have done nothing with. So maybe I'll be playing a hardcore casually on the side, but I think if I do, when it gets, I've wanted to make an alt account for a while. You know, like I've wanted to do the early game again for a while, and then I've wanted to just have an alt account for like supply running or scouting or something like that, like some sort of reliable moneymaker on the side. But I just never have. So I think when this account inevitably dies, I'll just de-iron it and turn it into a money-making alt. Like,
don't you have like a pure that you could train up, or you don't want to waste? You don't want to ruin the pure?
I don't even remember anything about that account. Like, I don't even remember the login. So that account is lost to time, I'm pretty sure. But that's what I've been up to. I'm going to be rune crafting for the duration of this episode, because I also haven't done a ton of Guardians of the Rift. I have 2 of the 4 outfit pieces. We've got the boots and the pants, because I've heard those are the best ones to get. Then I need the hat and the top, but we'll see. We'll see how she goes.
Is 99 rune crafting going to be your next one?
I don't think I care. about rushing skills anymore. I gotta level with you. Going on playing bingos, going on vacation, having RuneFest get moved. Maxing is a guarantee just without a time limit, which like in a way feels disappointing, but also like I don't know, man. You know, when I was against the clock, it felt good, kind of, to like really push
Yeah.
for a skill and get that sense of accomplishment. But now it's like, I don't know. I guess I'll buy an herblore level. Like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, well, I guess so.
construction is definitely an experience. Like, it's super quick. Like you were DMing me last night, but like, oh my god, glad to see you back. Like while I was training construction, like holding the 1 key or whatever. It
Mhm.
just feels bad to like stop the training method, you know? Like stop holding down the 1 key to get that going.
'Cause you're in a rhythm and you break that rhythm.
But it
Feels
doesn't
bad.
even feel like a rhythm. It's just click, 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 click. It's not like it
Oh.
doesn't feel as rhythmic as the old construction, which like I'm not complaining
Uh,
about because I don't think I want to put that much effort into it. But like, you know, construction is probably not going to be a weekend because I do not have the drive and desire to make it a weekend. But well, I mean, again, we'll be fine. 95 thieving makes Arty Nights blissful. I will say that.
it does.
Though I don't know how to. If someone needs to send me the link to the 95 thieving guild thing.
I don't unless there's a new one. The one that I was part of is not doing it anymore. I think it's literally just like the thieving host or whatever it is, Splash Worlds. You'd have to do some research.
I'll have to figure something out. Just because,
Yeah, but the one that I was a part of is not operating anymore, I don't think.
like the one in like the Arty Bank one is fine. But like if there's one that never moves, that's obviously nicer. So that's what I've been doing. What are we talking about today?
Well, before we get into that, I was going to tell you about construction. I had a thought. It is good that you're not rushing the skills anymore, but since you're not going to be rushing them, I would highly recommend that you at least rush construction. And you probably know this, but like the construction cape changes everything. It's so nice to have. And it's like your little precursor to having a max cape because of all the like the free teleports everywhere in the game. So I just if you're gonna rush any skill, don't do it in a weekend and burn yourself out. But like definitely get 99 construction. Don't put that one off. Because once I got my con cape, that thing like stayed in my inventory for everything. Because like your house is your hub essentially,
Yeah.
and then you have access to all of the other like you're doing clue scrolls or herb runs or whatever. You have access to all the other house portals, and it's good stuff. But today we are going to be talking about QoL Blog 82 minigame makeover, where this could actually get Oxie back into the Wintertodt without pulling his hair out. No? Okay.
I've read the blog update. I don't.
You don't think it's
Cool.
enough?
I read the blog update. I read the changes from July 18th. I think they recognize that cold interruptions are arguably the worst mechanic they've ever added to a minigame ever. It's like we know it sucks. So we're not going to do what you want us to do, which is remove the interruptions. But we're going to make them more like consistent, I guess.
Yeah. So the actual question is going to be: should we add a small invincibility window between the Wintertott's regular attacks so that you'd guarantee at least one fletching action before being interrupted?
I thought it was more than one fletching action. Did they say they're going to up that or no?
Let's see if there's any updates.
I know they initially said one. We'd look to increase the immunity timer to a little bit more than we initially intended, so you definitely will be able to fletch a couple of logs between rather than
Okay,
just
very nice.
guaranteeing one. On top of that, we'll look to add some kind of visual indicator so it's easier to make clear exactly when you've been interrupted and know when it's time to get clicking again. Oh god.
Yeah. When you think about it, it's like that is when they put it that way, essentially. It's like this is the Wintertodt attacking you. But even I don't know, like if you were fighting a boss and the boss attacked you, you would be interrupted from any sort of act, even without like auto retaliate. You would be interrupted. But I think it's just the frequency. I if I had my way with Wintertodt, it would be once you get a certain level of warmth, it's very rare that you would be interrupted. Like once you have your 4 pieces of warm clothing, and maybe even make it to where if you have the full pyromancer outfit, you don't get interrupted at all. The mechanics would still be there a little bit along the way when you're getting your outfit because you don't get it. It's not guaranteed, right? You could go to like a pretty high fire making level before you got the outfit just based on RNG. But once you have it, you don't get interrupted anymore. Because I mean, having a skilling outfit just give you XP, that's kind of those are outdated mechanics. And I would hope that they one day would go and back and like retroactively update all of the other skilling outfits to give you something other than just a little bit of boosted XP. And they could do really good things with the full pyromancer. But unfortunately, that is not the case now. Maybe if they got more feedback, maybe. The cool thing is they're open to changing it, which that conversation hasn't. We haven't had this conversation with Jagex about Wintertodt yet, and Wintertodt's been in the game for a long time, so we may get those changes if enough people give their feedback. There's a survey at the end of this poll blog. So maybe there's a somewhere to give your specific feedback. I know that they look at Reddit, they look at Twitter, all that kind of stuff. So everything else, though, I mean, the warmth meter seems really interesting. Your health, your actual health being affected, your warmth meter being affected. It essentially gives everybody the benefits of like having a low HP as long as you're wearing a lot of warm clothing. It's the equivalent of taking 1.2 damage 0.6 to 1.2 damage every time that it would damage you. You know, if your health meter or your warmth meter is at 99 and you get ticked for 1 damage, be like you take a 1 rather than like a whatever you take when you have 99 HP currently. I haven't been to Wintertodt in a while to know, but your health, you get hit a lot at 99 HP currently. Like I take brews on my main, and I'm using at least a brew per game just to stay alive, which is insane. Yeah, because like there's times where you're like just getting battered, and all you're doing is wood cutting. You're standing there wood cutting, and like the snow falls on you or the brazier breaks, and it's the damage other than just the cold damage that you don't, you're not paying attention or something. So
Pay more attention at Wintertodt.
don't like
That's my
paying
answer
attention
for
at
you.
Wintertodt.
I think the warmth meter, it's a fine change. I think if I could nitpick it, kind of like you said, tiers of warm clothing would be super cool. Like Clue Hunter outfit, mini game, random event, whatever, holiday bullshit offers like tier 1, but then you got other things like Broom a Torch, Fire Cape, Infernal Cape, Warm Gloves. Make those tier 2. And then at tier 3 with the Pyromancer outfit, the Cold of the Toad reduces the least. So like make it scale from 1.2 to 0.6. So like 1.2 damage with, or whatever the equivalent is, like 12% with tier 1 clothing, 8 or 9% with tier 2 clothing, and then with full Pyromancer it's just the 6% warmth reduction, which is fine. I think that'd be cool just to get rid of some of the randomness and make the minigame outfit like worth wearing. And I know they touched on like how the regen bracelet and HP cape are going to work, and like I don't know if they mentioned it in here, but like if okay, if a bite of food provides 4 HP or more, the bite will restore 35% warmth. Jesus. Okay.
Which is great because like it's going to be viable to just take cakes.
That's true, yeah. It's like If they make this change where you have to spend more time eating because it ticks you 12% every X amount of attacks, that's going to be annoying as fuck. That's going to be super annoying. Hopefully the frequency goes down and the immunity buff really helps that. But overall, I'm like optimistic that these changes are going to be good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to make me like Wintertodt. I will say the pile of crates, huge change.
That's going to be great.
Pile of crates is
because
big.
essentially you have unlimited food with the rejuvenation potions for free. You don't have to buy into anything. If you want to just go in there and make a full inventory, or not even full, you still need some room for some for kindling or whatever. But you make like 6 of those, and each dose restores 30% of your warmth. If you get down to 0%, like a potion will heal you to full. And then you have, I don't know what it's going to be like if you are going to be constantly needing to go and refill your warmth bar consistently, but it's free food, which is especially great for Ironman. I mean, supplies on an Ironman are like gold, so not having to use your food for a mini game is going to be great. But like the crate thing that you were talking about, that's huge. So the way that the points work, I guess, would be if you were to get like 2,000 points per game, or like say you get, what is it right now? It's 500.
500 gives you a crate,
1,000.
and then it's 1% until it's stupid. It's like 500 guarantees you a crate,
At least one
and then
roll,
1%.
Right?
I think it's 2 rolls, and then every 1% past, or every point, 10 points, whatever it is, past 500 gives you 1%. With 750 gives you a 50% chance to get 3 rolls, and then 1,000 it's guaranteed, and it just keeps going like that until you cap out at 13,000 ish for 28 rolls.
Mm-hmm. So I guess in this they may have to rework the points a bit to where if you say got 1,000-point game, then that's just 2 rolls or whatever, however many rolls you were guaranteed before, to where you can loot that pile and get your rewards at the end.
I'm sure it could work if they keep it the same.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Like, I think they say like, we'd like to make the pile of crates. It doesn't change the amount of rewards you obtain. So 13,500 points will score you 28 loot rolls. Like, it's just, they're not going to change the way they're awarded. They're going to change the way they're claimed, which, like, yay, because they're not stackable in a bank. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like, I think if
either
the
make them
crates were
stackable in your inventory, or make them stackable in the bank, or just do what they're wanting to do, where you have a pile. So
if they were stackable, this wouldn't be an issue, but they're not. So what they're doing is overall probably a good change for
sure. And then the last one, making the Brumatorch offhand, it's going to be super cool. I also heard that they want to make the equipable hammer. I don't remember what it's called. Mcamdo hammer or whatever.
Hammer, yeah.
Also an offhand for construction, maybe. So you have your saw and your hammer in your hand.
That would be good. I like that. It's motivated me to be like, maybe I should go get the Mcamdo hammer, because I have the saw. Not that it's gonna matter. Nice. I'm gonna have 99 construction before the update comes out. It's like, who gives a shit? This is the first skill blog update that's released that I don't already have 99 in the skills that they're pitching, thankfully. Because delaying RuneFest has made it so I might be able to reap the rewards of at least the Guardians of the Rift one, but I already have 99 fire making, and I hate Wintertodt, so even if I didn't, I would still line fire make. So maybe these changes will be good for the minigame as a whole. I think hopefully it'll kill the, oh, you want to have fun on your new Iron Man account? Go yourself. Go to Wintertodt meta that exists right now. Because like some of my teammates on this bingo team with their hardcores, they're following the Iron Man guide like to a T. And I'm like, I don't think I can physically do it. I can try to tick off the boxes. That might be fun, but also it's the first weekend of Deadman Mode. So like maybe I go out and collect some bones to get protection prayers. Who cares?
Good.
It's not like there's going to be a bunch of like level 5 PKers out there, you know? So as long as I don't do something stupid, like get one banged by a dragon, you know?
Could happen, unfortunately. But yeah, well, like, what
Oh
are your
well.
predictions with this new hire? Like, do you have a total level goal, or are you just gonna raw dog it?
I mean, the goal of the account in the long term is to be an alt that can get everywhere alongside my main and do some passive money makers to help me fund my expenditures on my main account, whatever that may be, right? Because in the end of the day, the max cape is like just the next thing for me to do. Like
Mhm.
I got a lot of post max goals that I want to do. You know, I really want to like I want to green log some bosses. I want to do some pet hunting. I want to like, have more like freedom to engage with pieces of this game that I'm excited to do that don't involve me standing at like an essence mine, for example, right? Like, you know, what's the top 3 post max goals? Top 3 post max goals. Number 1, definitely master combat achievements. I put that shit off for like way too long. Um I know at the beginning of the year, my goal sheet, I said I wanted to do a bunch of stuff with master CAs, but maxing has put that to a screeching halt. So definitely master combat achievements. Um, like I said, I want to do more pet hunting, but more broadly, I want to do more collection logging. Like
Mm.
I kind of like the idea of 100%ing the game in that way. You know, like I think it's fun to do in Melvor Idle. I think it's fun to do in other games that have collectibles to go around and like get them all. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that like I can do all this stuff in other games like without a guide. Cause no, I'm not doing that. But I think it would be a lot of fun to have that kind of experience. Um, like I said, and just sort of like, you know, start clogging. And then I think another part of me really wants to get a lot of the like PVM flex cosmetics. Like I really want to get the Fang kit. You know, I really want to get the Sanguine kit. I want to get the dust for Olmlet. I want to get the dust for Verzik. Like, I want to get the transmogs for TOA. Like, I want to do the things that are like, oh yeah, no, this guy knows what he's talking about. Because like for a while, the Infernal Cape felt good enough, and like now it doesn't. You know, I don't think I'm gonna put anything on the same like standings as I did the Cape because I don't really care. But I think at the same time, it's time for me to like elevate my level of play. And, you know, when I tell people, yeah, I can do everything in the game, because I can, right? Like the things I can't do are the super niche, super difficult, like no pillar Inferno. I don't have a sub 60 Inferno, you know, like I can do the Inferno. I've done it twice. I can do Tob. I can do pretty much everything in Tob. I can't solo chambers. It's the one thing I'm not particularly good at, soloing chambers. So like yeah, stuff like that. I think it's time for me to elevate my account in that way. So master CAs, combat untradeable items. I'm not going to take the Grandmaster helm off the table, but that might be the last goal we have in this account. Who knows? And then clogging, man. I want to see that collection log pop up more and more, you know? So that's me post max. So no, not quite a bot, but I just want to have an account that facilitates that a little bit better by money making or supply running or like doloing if I have to, you know. So that's the goal of the hardcore, because I do, and like it's going to be horribly ironic if I get to like 2277 on a hardcore, because it just won't die. Like that's gonna be really, really annoying. Because I have no interest in maintaining a hardcore. Um, but we'll just see how far I get and then de-iron the account. I think one of my other buddies on my team, Lilywick, is doing the same thing. He's like just gonna get as far as you can get and then de-iron it for an alt, which like cool, you know. But yeah, I don't know how we got here. Oh yeah, talking about Iron Men at Wintertodt. Hopefully this doesn't like corral new players into just going to Wintertodt when they first start, because I think that like, hey, you have to do this to start the game efficiently. I think it really stagnates people's ability to have fun with a game like, especially a game like this, you know, like if you drop off in Lumbridge and it's like a super basic town and you've never played this game before, and I tell you, by the way, on the other side of the planet there's a redwood forest, you should go explore it. You know, like that sounds cool enough, right? Like I know efficiency is kind of the backbone of the new age of old school RuneScape, and I think that's fine. But I think if there were other options that weren't like, if you don't go to Wintertodt, you're not efficient, which I think would also have to be a change in the mindset of the player base, because maybe it's now way more efficient to do Wintertodt first, because now you don't have to worry about these crates filling up your bank, right? Maybe you just
True.
knock out 99 fire making and forget about the entire thing until later when you need like a magic log for desert treasure. And then, oh shit, like, you know, you have base 60s, so let's go pop all your Wintertodt crates, you know? Maybe it becomes way more efficient, but I think the changes they're proposing are good. Like, I'll complain about Wintertodt till the day I die, but I'm not going to sit here and say they've proposed bad changes to this minigame. Acknowledging the interruptions suck. Cool. Thanks for that. I know they're not going to take him away because XP rates would skyrocket, and I don't think they want that. Just give us a longer immunity timer. Give us like a good legitimate amount of time between attacks, because like when my chat box fills up with that light blue text, I genuinely want to like thumbs down, log out, and not come back, you know? So hopefully they slow that down, but you know, good.
Would that be the only thing that would stop you, or like is that the only thing that's stopping you from saying that Wintertodt is not a bad minigame, is the interruptions?
I mean, mechanically it's definitely one of the biggest ones, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't love how it's not in line nowadays with other skilling minigames, and I think this is more a side effect of time than it is anything else. Like I don't love how it's one of the only skilling minigames that can get you killed.
True.
You know, I think that's kind of harsh to inadvertently create a minigame that obviously they didn't know it would become the meta, right? But like to have this meta defining activity for a significant group of players and then have it be able to kill you consistently, right? It just seems whatever. I'm a main account with a HP cape, a regen bracelet, bruise, and a maxed house. Like I don't die at Wintertodt if I'm paying attention, you know. But like I just think that part's kind of lame. The interruptions are frustrating to the point where like I want to be able to play the minigame. I don't care that they exist. I don't care that like there is an environmental hazard that I have to look out for, right? But when you compare it to something like Temporos, the things that interrupt you interrupt everybody in the game. You know, you don't have a bad RNG game at Temporos where like you just can't deposit any fish. You don't get any points because the game just doesn't let you deposit fish. You know, Wintertodt has that, and that's so independently RNG based. Where like, I don't think the snowfalls are bad. I don't think the brazier or brazier breaking is bad or needs to be relit. I don't think the pyromancer dying is bad. You know, I think they could readjust the position of those damn roots, because the reason people don't heal the pyromancer is because it's so like out of the way, right? Like you just throw away XP because you have to waste all those ticks getting all the shit to heal the pyromancer, right?
Yeah, they are moving the roots, which is going to be really nice. They're going to put it in the lobby.
That'll be good. But I think like overall, it's a minigame that punishes you, like literally punishes you, will kill you, while also not letting you play the minigame. And I think that is, in hindsight, just a horrific design, you know? Because like even the shittiest of minigames, you can't die in Trouble Brewing, you know? Other minigames where you can die, I can think of 3 off the top of my head where you get some decent XP and you have a risk of death. That's a Wintertodt, which we've discussed, Zalcano, and the Howled Sepulcher, right? The key differences with Zalcano and the Howled Sepulcher, technically, both of those encounters are nearly zero damage. The only damage you could theoretically take from Zelcano is the chip damage that comes when she shakes the ceiling, and you occasionally get hit for like a 4. If you pay attention to Zelcano, you're not going to take any damage, right? Hallowed Sepulcher, you could spend hours in there without taking a single hit. There's an item that prevents you from getting hit, right? You've just totally prevented from taking damage with the Hallowed Ring, right? So it's attention, it's a reward, it's skill based, and then the rewards from Zelcano and Hallowed Sepulcher, you make kind of a shit ton of money at those places if you get the right drops. Whereas Wintertodt doesn't have any of that. Wintertodt, every time I come here, I am abused at Wintertodt, and it's like grimy Harrowlanders and shit. Like, cool, thanks, man. I don't know. So I'm hoping these changes overall benefit the minigame, and they maybe lead to a discussion of like, what if we did remove interruptions and change them with something different? Because like the way they do Temporos, I think is way better. Way
Something
better than
predictable.
Wintertodt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's kind of rhythmic. It's on a cycle. After a certain number of seconds or whatever it is that you're going to have to go and get your totem, or you're going to have to go and like save from the wave,
tether yourself.
and then after tether yourself, and then after the wave, you're going to see lightning. It's going to start fire. So like you can plan for these interruptions, and they're the same every single game. Whereas in Wintertodt, like you're saying, you don't know if you're going to be able to get to the brazier or even Fletcher logs, or it's just going to be a clicking simulator because you're getting interrupted 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, and it's the inconsistency, right? Like, why does the interruptions, like, why does the cold of the toad only interrupt fletching and feeding, but not wood cutting?
It's a good question. That's a great question, actually.
Like, I guess if you think about it, like with wood cutting, a breeze isn't going to do anything when you're swinging an axe, but if you're trying to make a little tiny kindling with a knife, the sensitivity and the tips of your fingers with the cold might hurt, and it might be difficult to do just from like a devil's advocate standpoint. But like,
but
really?
Not when you're close to the brazier. You're close to that brazier. Like, you shouldn't be interrupted from feeding
fire, right? Yeah, you'd think, So like, I don't know. I think that would be, yeah. Wintertodt, I do have some serious gripes with, but I'm hoping these changes benefited overall.
I think if they implemented some changes, like you were saying with the death thing. So if we were to propose a change, what I would say is instead of death, like instead of your HP getting to 0, like if your warm meter goes down to 0 and you haven't eaten any food or drank a potion, you're just too cold to move or too cold to do any of the actions. So it stops you from fletching, chopping, feeding. And you have to physically warm yourself up in order to do those again. That could be a good way to, that would be a way that they could change the death mechanics. Not that you got too cold that you died, just you're so cold you can't do anything until you warm yourself up or leave. And then instead of it interrupting you, you have predictable things that are environmental that affect everyone, rather than like, maybe a snowstorm comes in and you have to like get close to the fire. And if you're not within a certain amount of tiles to your lit brazier, then you suffer some cold damage and then you have to eat. I kind of hate the mechanics of like, if you don't tether for the wave, you lose stuff, but it is very incentivizing to get yourself tethered to that wave, to like that pole, so that you don't lose anything. So they could do the same thing. Like if a snowstorm blew through, if you were caught in the storm and not close to the brazier, then you lose half your kindling. And then your warm meter goes down. So you have to drink more potions or eat more food. It's like there's ways they could negate any sort of risk of death and it still be an engaging minigame, as well as taking away like the random interruptions. Which,
I mean, man, I wouldn't want to like rework the minigame to be exactly like Temporos. Like I said, I think a lot of the environmental hazards in Wintertodt are fine. I think there has to be part of what I like about Wintertodt is the risk and reward piece of it. I kind of like the do I go back for a second inventory of logs and miss out on like potential fixing the brazier, or healing the pyromancer, or relighting the brazier where I get like a lot of guaranteed points while I'm like fletching? Or do I just go back for the fire making XP and get like a smaller amount of guaranteed points? So I kind of like that risk and reward factor that goes into it. I don't think we need to like reinvent the wheel necessarily. And frankly, even if it just like kicks you out, like you're too cold to move and the pyromancers escort your frozen corpse out to warm up. You like wake up next to the bonfire outside. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I think there's ways to
Instead of
punish players.
death.
Like Temporos does a great job of punishing players without like doing anything that like distraughts. When you lose small nets and hammers and buckets, you're not like account's not ruined. If it like took away your dragon harpoon, that'd be fucked. But like it doesn't do anything that like really hinders an account. So
Yeah.
Speaking of Temporos, it didn't get any changes. Temporos got no. It did technically. Temporos got the quick start, but I literally think
quick
that's
start, yeah. Which is nice.
Yeah.
Like if you want to just run it solo, you're not having to risk some jackass jumping on your boat, not knowing that you want to be doing it solo.
Mhm.
The quick start's nice. Going back to the Iron Man meta, one of the only reasons that I think it is technically the meta, the supplies, yes, but it's the low HP thing. Like any new account, you basically punished the more HP that you have. I think there's a threshold of currently you can get to like 16 or 17 HP before you're truly punished. But that's very limiting when a single quest in the game gets you to like 22. I think Witch's House gets you in the 20s. And that's from like a 5-minute quest. So you're limiting yourself by not doing Wintertodt early, and then you kind of miss out on all the rewards, because by the time you would technically go back, the rewards aren't super necessary for your account. So they've kind of shoehorned themselves with the way that gives you the rewards, and these are current. Like this is the current meta. So like you're kind of shoehorned into doing it earlier than later if you want to reap the benefits of it. As an Iron Man, you're not going to want like the super low tier herbs when you're already pretty high herb lore, because like literally if you don't do fire making at the start, there's really no reason to go past like 90. You could get 90 fire making and just wait. I think the highest next requirement is going to be 95 for one of the Shades of Morton. If you're going for like the prayer outfit, I've recently looked into it. That's why I know. But to burn redwood pyre logs, you need 95 fire making. So unless you're maxing, you could stop at 90 for diary steps, or just go to 95 for the Shades of Morton thing and just never get 99 fire making because there's no use. So this could change the meta. It could not. There's other ways that you can start an account. I think it would be really interesting to try to like develop an early game meta, main account or iron, and work in like hunter rumors somehow, because the rewards you get from hunter rumors offer a different type of early game progression with the bone shards and the meats and the herbs and the bird's nests and all that you get from the sacks. So if you were to start a new account, I think it would be interesting to like bounce around from doing hunter rumors and in Wintertodt and Temporos, and those 3 mini games together could make a really cool early game progression, rather than just staying at Wintertodt for like 40 hours before you can start playing the game. I will say, like, having done that 99 fire making grind on an early game Iron Man, the supplies were nice. I will not deny that. Having used them on my first ever Iron Man account, I went straight to 99, didn't do anything else. And the money, uh, the low level farming, herb lore, smithing, all that kind of stuff, like it was nice. But I think I don't know that I would have really appreciated the rewards later on. So hopefully these changes to Wintertodt and also to Guardians will kind of shake up the meta because I think it needs a little shaking because people are really stuck in their ways of you're following this guide and it says to get to 99 fire making and you're like, ugh, but why? There's other things I can
Mhm.
do that can give me the supplies that you're telling me I desperately need. One thing that I did early in my group Ironman was I did a lot of Guardians of the Rift, and that's the next one that they're looking to rework. Now this one is a lot more, I would say, in depth as far as like there. It's kind of like getting into the nitty gritty. Um, an example of that is they're talking about like the barriers and how many guardians you can set up guardians and barriers before the game even starts, and whether or not they take essence versus fragments. There's just a ton of stuff.
I
So
ain't getting into
if
the
you
weeds with all that
no
shit, you
no
guys. I'm sorry.
if you haven't read the blog, it's one of the newest ones as of the time of recording. Go and read it because there's a lot of information. The Wintertodt one, at least, was pretty straightforward. There's 4 questions. I think the Guardians one has like 6 or 7.
6,
So
7,
yeah.
8, 9, 10. It's got 10. So Guardians of the Rift is going through some big changes. TLDR, please vote yes for the dynamic scaling. Also, like I'm not going to tell you guys how to vote. But like dynamic scaling in Guardians of the Rift is good. So help me God, if I find out any of you vote no for the small invincibility window between the Todd's regular attacks, I'll personally hunt down Michael.
Oh,
Teach him a thing or two. So help me God, you better vote yes to the invincibility window. Question
or
4.
don't.
The blog, if the blog's even still open at this point, I don't even know. But yeah, Guardians of the Rift, dynamic scaling, hopefully is a good thing. The rune pouch changes. I gotta level with you. I don't know if I didn't read them or I'm just stupid. I don't know what changes they're making. The giant pouch is more accessible, sub 85.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if this is like a I have 90 and don't care, so I didn't bother to read point, or like it's something
Probably.
that's like actually, you know, like meta changing. Whatever, dude. So glad that that rune pouches are getting adjusted for people who don't have 85.
I think it just like it gives you the ability to keep one pouch in your inventory and have slightly less essence than having to carry all 4 before you get to
Mhm.
85. So it's like one pouch to rule them all, or you can be more efficient and have every pouch, which is cool. The needle gives the needle something to gives you, a chance to use your needle before you hit 85. There's so many questions here, guys. So go read go read the GOTR. Are there any that stick out to you as like I am jumping for joy at these?
They are reducing the fucking nail beast attack sound, but they're pulling it. If you guys don't know what that sounds
Interesting.
like, go to Mauritania, do some temple trekking until you run across with nail beasts, and then turn the volume on to just what you normally have it set at. Don't like crank it up or anything like that. CPJ says increase it by 50%. Increase it by 100%. Them kids. No, but seriously, they're pulling this change. This is like this is old Jagex to me. I don't like this. I don't like this. We shouldn't
It
need to
shouldn't be a
pull
poll.
a sound. Though I'll to their credit, I'll give them this. Sounds are very important to me, right? Sounds, especially in like fandom things, are very very important to me. Like for example, when The Force Awakens, when that trailer came out, what's the one thing I didn't like about the Force Awakens trailer? There's one thing that irked my nerves so badly when that trailer came out in 2014, 2015, whatever it was. And it was that Kylo Ren's lightsaber didn't sound like a lightsaber. It sounded like something
Oh.
different. And that drove me insane. I don't know
Hmm.
why. I almost didn't want to see the movie because of the way it sounded, right? When the new Jurassic World came out in 2015, the T-Rex roar from Jurassic Park, they just fucking took it out. The main one at the end of the first movie, that's in every other subsequent Jurassic Park movie, it doesn't appear in Jurassic World 2015. that irks my nerve because it's a great film. Otherwise, like sound is incredibly important to people when engaging with something that does trigger a little bit of that nostalgia. And I know, like, we've discussed nostalgia in this game looks very different 10 or 11 years down the road, right? But adjusting that, it'd be like if we turned the ACB spec down. Do we want to turn the ACB spec down? Probably not, right? Because part of why it's so memorable is because it's so ear-piercingly loud. You know, the nail beasts are ear-piercingly loud. So maybe this is, I don't know. I don't actually know how to feel about this one. Because at first I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Like, just make it an unpulled chain. But the more I talk about it, the more I realize, like, when they adjust sounds in pieces of media that I love, oh, you know, it's like
It gets to your core.
It just
And there could be
something
somebody
about
out
it.
there
Something about
who
it
really
just ain't
cares.
right. Like, and all my Halo fans out there, y'all remember the dramatic and violent shift from the Halo 2 and Halo 3 battle rifle to the Halo 4 battle rifle? Y'all remember that? That was horrible. Horrible. Halo 4, pretty good game. Their sound profile was terrible. The sound profile in that game made me want to vomit. Otherwise, it was a decent game, right? So who knows? Maybe the nail beasts don't get adjusted. But they're cutting out the fucking bog. Please vote yes
hell
to
yeah.
remove the bog from temple trekking, please.
Get it out of here. That's like when you have a mini game and the only event in that mini game that people teleport away from is the bog, you know something's wrong. Because it doesn't feel like the rest of the encounters. Maybe if this was, 2007 and the developers didn't care and they're just like, yeah, it's friggin' just do it. It's not that hard. I'd be okay, but we've had to suffer through the bog. And what's cool though is that anytime you would have gotten the bog, they're just gonna give you the zombie one, the zombie encounter, guaranteed. That's gonna give you a lumberjack piece. It's kind of weird at the end of the day that you still get lumberjack woodcutting outfit pieces from temple trekking as a minigame, but you can still get them from forestry. It just makes no sense to get them from forestry.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of the other updates that they're making are good. They're small, QOL, good. You know, they're making Amy's saw potentially offhand. Removing the furniture selection interface is actually kind of
from the
huge.
mahogany. Yes, I wanted to touch on that one.
Yeah,
that's the only annoying thing about mahogany homes. It's like it's already left click remove, and it's left click build, but then you still have to press 1, 2, 3, or 4. When bitch, I have teak logs in my inventory. Why do you want to give me the option to make mahogany furniture? Like I'm on a teak contract. Just know which contract I'm on and correlate it to the planks I have in my inventory. Just let me build it. So now it's left click remove, left click build, and you're done. There's no extra steps. You could have this hand sipping your margarita, have the other hand on the mouse, and
nothing
you're doing
like a
mahogany
nice
homes.
cup of tea.
Oh, true.
Ain't nothing like a nice cup of tea during mahogany homes.
Wasn't there something about removing the delay too? So they want to remove the delay from tea drinking dialogue after finishing a contract. I don't know if I'm just stupid, but I don't notice.
I don't know what it means either.
I don't know what it means. Like, what delay are you talking about? Is it the delay of you've drank the tea and now your character can't move because you have to say thank you? Or is it once you finish the contract, you just what should happen, honestly, is once you finish the contract, you should just be able to drink the tea. You should just be able to toggle yes. You turn in the contract, you say thanks for my tea. They give you 100% run and you're on your way. You should not have to press yes or no. Because who is pressing no?
Toggle that. Make it a toggle at Mahogany Homes. I think it'd be a good toggle only because, like, for the sake of this game having some soul, and this is my argument for it. The game has a little bit of soul. Have the people whose house you just fixed thank you and then offer you some tea for your services. And then if you don't want that anymore because you would like the what I can assume will be marginal increase in construction XP, tell Amy that like as soon as you're done with the contract, you'll just completely skip the animation, right?
Hold on. Cue the tea drinking. This is an unpulled change. It says cue the tea drinking after finishing a contract so that the energy is restored even if you click out of the dialogue. So maybe they are doing that. Maybe they're just allowing you to get your energy restored. Ooh. Because the delay from the tea drinking dialogue is going to be unpulled, and this one is also unpulled. So maybe I just didn't see it because it wasn't in like the list of questions. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Seppi says just auto restore after completion. Just like it's known. Tell Amy you want tea, and she lets all of the people know, like, hey, somebody's coming to fix your house, and they're gonna want tea. So just give it to them. Force feed it. Whatever you got to do, give them the tea, and we get our energy back.
When I saw the preferred contract thing, I thought for sure they were like, whose house do you want? And I was like, dog, if I can preferred contract Tao's house in Falador every single time, but no, they just mean the tier, like expert, beginner, novice, all that. Because I also thought it was like, you know, do you want to go to Hosidius or Varrock or where? I was like, dude, Falador is the best place. That's fantastic. But nope.
Yeah, Falador is great.
Just the tier, which is fine.
So I'm going to rapid fire the last one. So adjusting the Soul Wars mapping so that the blue side avatar cannot be safe spotted by the red team. Didn't know that was a thing. So I guess vote yes. Give the players more pieces of 8 for actively making rum inside Trouble Brewing. Also didn't know that your pieces of 8 didn't scale on activity. So yes, vote yes on that. Allow bounty hunter rewards to be used in other PvP minigames. Like
Vesta's Longsword and Castle Wars.
Oh.
Or like, I don't know. Like a lot of the bounty hunter rewards I can think of. A lot of the rewards maybe? I can think of are cosmetic. So like, let's look. Oh, you know what it is? It's the armor. Vesta's armor, Statius's armor, Morrigan, Zuriel, the spear, the hammers, all this other shit. Like it's all of that, right? That's the stuff they want you to be able to use, which like I think is cool. You know, why not make some sort of additional use for it?
For PvP stuff. Okay. Add a quick start option to Temporos for people looking to jump back into solo kills. Yes, we already talked about that one. Like, why would you vote no? That doesn't hurt anyone because you can still stand on the boat for 30 seconds and queue up with your mates and stand by the edge and just contemplate life at the edge of the boat and look out into the water. You can still do that.
You got to brood before Temporos. If you don't stand on that edge to brood, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah. They're not removing that. So this isn't anti-brood. Allow players to use blighted supplies in all PvP minigames. Also pretty cool. And then finally, allow players to swap between an offhand and main hand version of the Encomdo Hammer, which they're with the Amy Saw, it would be either you want it in your main or your offhand, which at the end of the day, that's the way to do it. Because if they just make it an offhand, that means that the Encomdo Hammer is useful in construction, but not useful in Wintertodt. But if it's swappable, it means that you can have your main hand Encomdo Hammer for Wintertodt and your offhand Encomdo Hammer for
Hammer.
For Hamner. If you're Hamber. Camdu. Hamber. For what was it? Mahogany Homes. So the Brumatorch getting swapped to an offhand is also pretty cool because now in Wintertodt, all you're going to need is your food and your fletching knife. And if you don't fletch, literally it's just food and like maybe stuff to get back to your house. So you have your Brumatorch in your offhand and your hammer in your right hand, your main hand, and you're off to the races. that's all the little stuff that they're doing. There's going to be, let's see, 26, 27 questions on this poll. It's a juicy one. If you haven't read it, we'll have it linked in the description. This is going to be a blanket yes for me. I think all of these are absolutely fine. Oh, there's some more we didn't read at the bottom, but again, like the nitty gritty stuff here. So go read the blog, vote yes on everything. I don't think there's a reason to vote no, and if there is, please let us know because we want to know your opinions.
I
Down in
genuinely
the
might
comments.
skip the nail beast question just because now that I've thought about
You're
it so
really
much, I don't know.
unsure.
I'm really
Oh,
unsure after my discussion about the nail beast.
Huh.
Rumor
You
has
gotta-
it you're a bit of a PKer.
I am. Yeah, Deadman Mode. I kind of teased it in the beginning. So essentially, I have a goal on my group Iron Man. I want to get a Void Waker because that weapon is the single most fun spec weapon besides Dragon Claws that I can think of for any account. Void Waker, absolutely, just it outshines any other spec weapon in my opinion. Dragon Claws, I haven't really used them, so I don't know. But I want to grind out a Void Waker on the Iron Man. And the recolor, have you seen the recolor for it? It like makes it dark and spooky and red. Looks really cool.
OSRS, DMM.
Like
I've not even like seen the rewards.
Look up the corrupted Void Waker for DMM Armageddon. That's what it's gonna look like. And it takes it from like a purpley.
Whoa, Armageddon weapon. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Mm-hmm. So they're making a scroll that you're going to be able to recolor your Armageddon Godsword, Void Waker, Dark Bow, or Nightmare Staff. Did I say? What did I say? Something.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Oh my god, the AGS looks sick. Holy shit, dude.
So hey, listen. If you're gonna get a Void Waker on the GIM one day, literally just log into DMM, get 1,200 total, and log out. That's your 1,200 points right there.
It's 12,000.
Well, so I guess I can go into my plan. So in Deadman Mode, for every level that you gain, you get 10 Deadman Mode points. And so the scroll to change your weapon is going to be 12,000 Deadman Mode points. So to get 12,000 points, the quickest and easiest way that I can think of is going to be a combination of questing to get the levels, and then also just skilling, doing your skills. And it's, I think, in the second bracket. Well, actually, all of the brackets. Regular skilling is 10 times XP rates. So it's not going to be too hard to get like 1,200 total. I think I did the math. 1,200 divided by 23, because there's 23 skills, you're looking at base 52s. And there's already some skills that I have over level 52. So that just, it evens out to, I'm going to get about base 50s in every skill. And I have access to the Grand Exchange. It's going to be a no-brainer. So if I really, like, if I get to 12,000 and it's super easy, I may try and get an extra 6,000 points to get I think it's 6,000, but whatever the new, no, the teleport.
Yeah, the imbued. Oh, the teleport's 9,000.
The teleport. Oh, it's 9,000. Okay, well, I might try and
imbued
bust
God
out another 9,000. I don't love the imbued God cape. It looks like the skull looks cool. The only one that I think I would actually wear is the red one, because the green and the blue, it's just like the wrong shade of green and blue for me. But the teleport is really cool. So you're basically sinking into a hole in the ground, and your character's just doing like flex animations the whole time. And then right before you sink fully, you fist bump yourself, and then you go into the hole. And that's your home teleport or your minigame teleport. It's really fun looking, and I think it would be worth the extra 9,000 points. So at the end of the day, I may be getting, what is that, 21,000 Deadman Mode points. And you can get points by pretty much doing everything. I think what people are saying is the biggest opportunity for points is going to be fighting the bosses and the PVM bosses in breaches. So
Mm-hmm.
I need to train my count up enough to where I can hold my own at these breaches and also get some supplies. Because, like, realistically, the plan is to just do a bunch of skilling in safe zones, uh, and not risk the account too much. But I think it can be done. We have like Deadman Mode started like 2 days ago, and it goes until like August 3rd. I think it's like 2 weeks, but I think it's more than enough because I already have close to 5,000 points needed, or I have 5,000 of the 12,000 needed. So I'm almost halfway there. But that's my Deadman Mode journey. If you guys saw the Hanani episode, I spent like the first 3 or 4 hours just kind of messing around. I used my hour of immunity, getting 43 prayer essentially at the bone zone. And then just training magic, and I attacked Hanani and set myself up to be the villain of the series. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Are you gonna play Deadman Mode?
For the Voidwaker cosmetic, I might.
You can buy it on your main. So this would be like if you wanted to do it on your Iron Man.
I might do it on both.
Do it on both.
Realistically, would probably just do it on the main. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm actually curious how much it's going to be after the event. Because yeah, I mean, if a couple mil at most. The league's rewards hold their value. Some of them do, at least, like the ones that people don't buy very often. But you can still catch a, when leagues is over is usually the time that they are the most expensive. And then like as the time progresses, there's just not as much of a demand for them. So you may have to wait a few months for it to be a reasonable price, or like I said, just go get yourself 1,200 total, and you have the 12K points that you need. But doing things like Monkey Madness, I think Monkey Madness 1, you get 300,000 attack XP or something crazy. And so by just doing a simple quest, you've already got over, I think it's like 60 something attack, strength, defense, and all the prerequisites leading up to it. So I don't know what my Deadman Mode, I don't know what my total level is now. It's not very high. I haven't played very much, but if you see me, don't kill me at the end of the day, because I'm just here for the rewards.
Kill him.
Oxie said I should stream it, and
stream it.
I don't know. Maybe
stream it, Michael. You're gonna sit in safe spots the entire time, anyways. It's not like if you stream it, you're gonna get sniped for all your stuff. You're gonna sit in safe spots and cut you trees. Stream it.
Maybe
Deadman Mode. Stream it.
Maybe we'll see. I'm very conflicted. I really am, because I initiated a skill of the week that started yesterday on the 20th, and it ends on the 27th. And so it's Hunter, and I'm having a good old time. Just like this entire time I've been catching herbivore. I started at 200. I'm at 277. So, and I think I'm editing this week. We haven't talked about if Oxie's going to edit this week or not, but I guess I'm editing this week. So it's another AFK activity that I can do. And like, I don't know if I want to AFK in Deadman Mode. We'll see. But I kind of want to be competitive in the skill of the week, but then also I don't think I can be competitive because we're only awarding the top 3. And currently I'm in 10th. I may actually be lower than that. Because the gamers who are in first, second, third, they're in the millions of XP, and I'm in the hundreds of thousands, and I don't think I can catch up. That's the only sucky part about skill of the week, is like once you get a lead, people tend to back off because it's really hard to catch that lead. I wish there would, like, if we could sit down and devise a way to make skill of the week to where it's more fair. Not more fair, but like
we've got the solution. It's called Skill of the Weekend. and we keep doing skill of the week. We keep suggesting 4 or 5 or subjecting 4 or 5 poor souls in TNL to an agonizing week full of the same skilling activity over and over and over again, when we could just show a little bit of mercy and have it be a skill of the weekend. Let them condense their going hard for like 72 hours and let them live and let die there. But we make it a week, and now it's like, oh, time to get 99 twice. Like,
Yeah, because I think Scotty, after the woodcutting event, during the woodcutting event, like the equivalent of going 1 to 99
twice.
In woodcutting. How much XP? He got 27 million XP.
He got like 20 something mil. It was disgusting.
Oh.
Maybe it was 13 mil. I don't remember. Whatever it was, he got too much. Too much for one human being to get in a week. We got to stop doing skill of the week and do skill of the weekend. I was on vacation, so I got to level with you. I was not paying attention at all to what you were suggesting. I would have skill of the weekend. First week of Deadman Mode, pop, 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 skill of the weekend. The weekend after, pop, pop, pop.
Oh, maybe next time. I'm saying maybe, but definitely next time, skill of the weekend. Or at least like start it on a Thursday and have it go till Sunday or something. It's not, it's not the entire 7 days.
Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time till Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Easy game. It allows people to degen as much as they like, and then by the time it's over, you have time to take a shower, decompress, tickle the misses, and sit down for Game of Thrones. That's all you need. It's all you need.
House of Dragon is so good.
oh my god, so
I find myself like the episode ends. I'm like, I have to wait how many more days until the next one?
What I hate is that now I'm back on Game of Thrones TikTok, and Fire and Blood's been out for years, so people have read the history book and they know how House of the Dragon ends. And I'm trying to like avoid spoilers like the plague, because like my cousin and my best friend who I was on vacation with this week, they have both either read Fire and Blood or just like got the synopsis from online. So like my cousin's a huge lore hound, loves the Grimm universe, loves it. Has read. He was reading the Duncan Egg stories, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, while we were up there again. So I've been trying to like whoa, like avoid
dodge it.
Various spoilers. Like I saw something that was like, you might make fun of Aegon, but he outlives, and then I just closed TikTok. I'm like, I don't know. I don't care what that's gonna say. I don't care. I don't care what that's gonna say. I don't care. So like
the only spoiler I know is from Game of Thrones. Joffrey is like taking Marjorie around the castle, and he spoils an aspect of the Dance of the Dragon.
Spoil it for me.
I'm not gonna say it. But
I know the whole series is about like the Targaryens warring and then all their dragons getting killed. So like I shouldn't be shocked when the Targaryens go to war and all their dragons get killed. But week to week, without fail, I am.
Did you know that they got greenlit for a second season? So like we're not even going to conclude this war by the end of season 2. Sorry, they got greenlit for a third season. I forgot we were on the second season. We're not even going to conclude.
I think there's going to be 4. I think there's going to be 4 seasons from what they talked about.
Bro, I don't know if they got confirmed.
I don't know if they got confirmed for it, but I've heard there's going to be 4 seasons in total that will take us to the end of Fire and Blood. But supposedly, from what I've been told by my cousin, we need Winds of Winter, Song of Spring, which are the 2 Game of Thrones books that are coming out to like finish the series.
Yeah.
We need Fire and Blood Part 2, whatever that is, the second entry of Fire and Blood, the other history book that accompanies Fire and Blood. And then we need the other 9 novellas of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And in my cousin's loving words, then George R. R. Martin, Grimm, as he called them, then Grimm can die. So we're hoping that's what happens.
I know we're
But
not a
who
Game of Thrones
knows? I think
podcast, but I just
if
love
we
the
get
lore.
Winds of Winter and Song of Spring or whatever it is, whatever the last book is called, I think the people will be content with that. So, but who knows? I don't read the books. I can't read. So
I refuse. I want to read them, but I am putting my foot down and refusing to start them until he finishes them or until somebody finishes them.
he has said if he dies, womp womp, they go unfinished.
What? No,
And
I've
his
heard
wife,
that.
his wife has also
Ugh.
adamantly said, like, yeah, I'm gonna respect the hell out of that claim. If he dies, no one's gonna finish the book.
I don't know if this was like official news, but they were talking about Brandon Sanderson ghostwriting for him. I don't know if that was just like a fan suggestion of Brandon, please, but somebody needs to. Somebody, please. Because I cannot live with how they ended season 8. I can't. It's not the way that George wanted it. I'm
We gotta
conspiracy theory
we
is
gotta
that
wrap it up, or we're gonna start crying here.
frick,
God,
dude.
season
We're
8
gonna
was so
be
we literally sat at the bonfire because my sister had never seen it.
Oh, really?
We're talking about House of the Dragon. We're talking about Game of Thrones. My sister knows how Game of Thrones ends, and like, she's like, I don't understand what the big deal is. I said, Lizzie, I want you to imagine the end of Friends, right? You know how Friends ends? Rachel doesn't get on the plane. Oh my God, everyone's ends happily. Ross ends up with Rachel. Imagine instead of ending up with Rachel, Ross ends up with Gunther and then drops a tactical nuke on New York City out of nowhere. Or like comes in and like shoots up his school for no reason. Like that is literally the compare. She's like, oh God. I'm like, yeah, it's that bad. Like, that is the equivalent of like, it doesn't make any sense and it's just nonsensically violent and also just poorly written. You know?
Yeah.
I
I heard
never
a
forgive.
conspiracy. There's two. One conspiracy why he hasn't finished is because he killed off a character, Grim, that he needed, and he can't figure out how to turn it around. Um, and he can't move the story forward without that character. And the other conspiracy is that this is actually how the books are supposed to end, is the way that the D&D did it. And the backlash that the show has received has just killed all motivation of George R. R. Martin from finishing, because that was his plan. That's what he had planned the entire time, and people hated it, and he's well, I don't know how to end it because that was my plan.
It's not that the ending itself is inconsolable. I think there are ways to make that ending happen. It's that D&D were so goddamn obsessed with going to write Star Wars, which they thankfully didn't get. Fuck those guys. They don't deserve Star Wars. It's been ruined enough by J.J. Abrams. We don't need any more of that. But no, they were so obsessed with finishing it that they decided to wrap up every single major plot point in like 10 minutes. It wasn't that
Mm,
it wasn't that it was like, oh, these plot points are bad. It's that they were rushed and not developed.
gotcha.
You know, I made the comparison to like Ross just out of nowhere decides to drop a nuke on New York City. Is essentially how Game of Thrones ends. Doesn't make any sense, but that's what happens. And it's terrible. And it's also very sad because it was like the peak. The world was obsessed. And then
Yeah.
within like a week, the world was like, wow, fuck this show. We don't want any more of it. And someone just left the call. And I think that's our signal to wrap this bit up. All the talk of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. That said, if the last thing you've watched was Game of Thrones, go watch House of the Dragon. Because it's actually, it's what Game of Thrones used to be. It's good.
Yeah. It's nostalgic. Anyway, we're not a Game of Thrones podcast, so maybe we won't tangent to that in the second half. I don't know, but the second half is coming after this break. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you want some more content from us, stick around from this after this, like, probably recycled commercial, and we'll see you in just a second.
Greetings. My name is not important. What is important is that I am a fur trader. I own and operate the fur stall in the greatest city of all of Gillinor. Ardugni. Let's just call it Artie. I own the fur stall in the greatest city of all of Gillinor, Artie. Whether you're looking for bear fur, wolf fur, or an assortment of other furs which I don't keep in stock, I've got you covered. Ugh, hold on. Can you stop running on my stall? Every day, it's the same thing. Inconsiderate lap junkies take it upon themselves to use my stall as part of their course. You know how many times I've had to repair this stall? 3 times, just this week. And the city guards are oblivious too. It really feels like all of their time is spent guarding the baker's stall and his cakes. Does all that theft bother me? Nah, I don't worry about it too much. My eyes are locked on my stall. No one's stealing anything on my watch. Huh? Yeah, furs. Anyway, if you're in the market for a fur, come on down to my stall. In the greatest city of all of Gillinor. Ardugni.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break because I know that I sure did. It's part of the episode now where we're going to take some time to thank the patrons who show their love and support via our Patreon page. And if you are part of the Wise Old Man tier and it is your first time supporting the show and you haven't been shouted out, you get shouted out on the first time that you do that. This week, we have 3 new and 1 returning, 2 new and 1 returning patrons. So big shout out to Monty R and Cram Sinitram for, sorry if I, just butchered that, but thank you for being our 2 newest Wise Old Man patrons, and welcome back to the Wise Old Man tier, Otis. It's good to have you back. On the screen now is all of our current Wise Old Man patrons. Thank you so much to everyone. You guys are always the bread to our butter, the peanut butter to our jelly, the socks to our shoes, the sand to our beaches. Anyway, thank you. Muchos to every one of you. We couldn't do this without you. If you're part of the Wise Old Man tier, one of the best benefits that you get, besides turning your name blue in Discord, is access to the recording booth where you can hang out with us while we record the episodes live. We usually record on Sundays, so if you're free on a Sunday and you want to listen to this show as we record it and hang out with us and interact with us, join the Wise Old Man tier and connect your Patreon to Discord, and you'll have access to the booth. You also get access to the booth in the KBD tier, and that is the tier we're going to shout out next. These folks get their names shouted out every week. We're going to read through this list. And so I'm going to start out at the top and give a big warm shout out and thank you to Apathy, Boston Sport 5, Brooks 70, Chaos Cleric, Oxie's dad, my dad, all of our dad, Cloud Kicker, Corpse Fiance, Damon S, Dicky Bird, Elite Oreo Dunker, Give Us Flingo 666, love you Oxie. That the love you Oxie was in parentheses. Our third favorite Patreon supporter, Ralph, Run Metal 15, Soggy Waffles, Seppi J, Sparky Life, Swolmediant, The Big G Jordy, The Creative Tallymorn, and Warbatroning. These are our King Black Dragon tier folks, and we love you more than we love the Wise Old Man tier. It's just facts. Couldn't do this without you, and you guys are amazing. So you also have access to the recording booth, and your name turns orange if you're in the Discord, and you have a little KBD head next to your name. It's pretty cool. So if you want to join these crazy folks and support the show, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Xpwaste and picking a tier that makes the most sense for you. We have a free tier, but I don't know what that means, if I'm being honest, and I haven't looked into it. I think it basically just means, like, if we were to post a status update on Patreon, you would be able to see it if we marked it available for free members. So like we don't do that, but you're more than welcome to join the Patreon for free or as low as $1. And it'll come with other benefits. You can check our Discord. There's some secret channels. It's all fun stuff. So patreon.com/Xpwaste. Going now to the ever controversial community question. So a couple weeks ago, I think actually like maybe last week, Spotify kind of just nuked the community question section in favor of a comment section. And I say nuked it, and it's controversial because like I can't find the comment section on my Spotify profile, but Oxie can. So whether or not you can access it, we don't know. Whereas before, everybody had access to the community question. You could just see it and we could ask a specific question and you would be able to answer it. And that's kind of what like sparked this whole community question section for us. Like this part of the show was brought forth by Spotify introducing the community question. And so this may or may not continue based on how easy it is for us to like collect responses. We can always get the responses pretty easily on YouTube. Like the YouTube comment section isn't going anywhere and we can pin a comment. So today we have 2 responses on Spotify and 20 responses on YouTube. So like the balance has shifted, whereas before we would have a bunch on Spotify and only a couple on YouTube. So the future of this section of the podcast is definitely in question. But for now, we did ask you a question 2 weeks ago. So Hanani and I recorded last week, and we did not read these out. Usually when Hanani's here, like all structure goes out the window. Like we didn't even do the Patreon read last week. It just like abruptly ends. So last week we did not do any of the second half activities. We just talked the whole time. So we have quite a large community question and quite a large, I would assume, achievement of the week. But without further ado, last week we asked you guys, give us your absolute worst idea for a bingo tile. And we'll start with Spotify because it's the smaller of the two. Damnation says, a tile inspired by the drop I found out existed during last bingo. Get a D spear from a skeleton. Go ahead and look up the rarity on that.
Ooh.
Got it while canning skeletons for the scroll tile.
Ooh.
I'm assuming it's incredibly rare.
It's gotta be bad.
Was it not linked to the rare drop table?
It is linked to rare drop table, but I don't think that matters because a skeleton dropping it is at the absolute worst when dropped from an unarmed skeleton. Let me see if this changes at all. Okay, cool. So from an unarmed skeleton, it is not too bad. It's 1 in 41k with a ring of wealth. You want to take a guess at what it is without a ring of wealth?
Without a ring of wealth on a like the highest drop rate?
Yep.
Probably like 1 in 90,000. No?
It's 1 in 699,051.
What?
But don't worry. If it's an armed skeleton, so if it has any sort of weapon in its hand, the drop rate does get a lot better. Do you want to take a guess at what the drop rate is?
1 in 500,000?
No. It's lower than that.
1 in 100,000?
No. It's higher than that.
1 in 10,000.
It's 1 in 349,525 without a ring of wealth for an armed skeleton. So at best, unless he was killing them ring of wealth on in the wilderness, if he was doing that, at best, it's 1 in 20k.
Still atrocious.
At the absolute worst, 1 in almost 700,000, making it what could very well be one of the rarest drops in the game. You know?
From a monster, yeah. Because I think the onyx from a gem bag is the rarest.
No,
If
I
you're
mean one of the
talking-
rarest, period. Because the Onyx is 1 in a million, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 1 in almost 700,000. This shit is up there.
Yeah, it's pretty, like, it should never happen, but it did to poor Damnation. That's crazy. What a way to start this. Holy smokes. And no, that's not going to be a bingo tile. I'm just going to let you know.
Sure would be funny if it was.
How do you prove that? How do you prove it? Next up, Napes says Nightmare Tile. It's the title. In your POH, build at least one of every room and fill it with the highest tier options for each spot. It is a nightmare of a tile. Let me tell you. So that was the comments on the last video. Moving on to our YouTube replies. Jack McCann says, touch grass. As a team, stand on every tile in Zaya. Just unlock all of them. Tileman mode, bingo edition.
Oh.
Honestly, I feel like we're going to hear that a lot from you, so buckle up. Spencer says, mega trifecta, get a T-bow, a shadow, and a scythe. All of them. You can't substitute anything. You have to get a T-bow, a shadow, and a scythe. It's pretty bad. This account used to be Oxie's chair, but now it's Michael's lack of AC. So they said, I've got a jar of dirt. Collect all the boss jars. All of them. Maybe if we're doing like a year-long bingo, that could be a viable tile, but
I ain't planning no year-long bingo. I'm telling you guys right now, get the idea out of your head. I ain't planning no fucking year-long bingo.
Rune Gaz says, get a black warhammer from a beginner clue. I'm very curious on the drop rate of this one.
It's got to be bad, right?
Let's just look, because if this is considered a bad tile, what is the drop rate for? Let's see. It's not going to show me what you can get for the regular loot, but oh no, I just got a black warhammer.
I was going to say it should.
Hammer. And item sources is going to be 1 in 800. Oh.
Also, it does. If you scroll to the beginner clue casket, it will show. You went to the clue, not the casket. All black items are 1 in 805.
Smart man. Oh wow, that's cool. Jake says more of a golden snitch idea than a tile, but if your team pulls a third age pickaxe or axe, you win the event. That would be kind of fun. That would be cool. I think it would just be like, do as many master clues as you can and don't focus on the event type of thing. But, you know, maybe you have a small group of people doing master clues the whole time. Kind of like they're the whatever role that Harry Potter plays. I forgot what it's called.
But again, that's such a shitty sport. That's such a shitty sports mechanic. I know it's been talked about before on social media. Imagine spending your entire life getting good at basketball or soccer or hockey or something like that. And your position is absolutely vital because you've literally spent decades getting good at it. But in the parking lot, simultaneously, one guy from each team is chasing a greased up, I don't know, a greased up hog or something like that. And the first person to secure the hog wins the game. Regardless of what happens inside the stadium, Quidditch is one of the stupidest fucking rule sets of a game ever. So I don't love the idea of a golden snitch tile because I think the idea of a golden snitch is stupid. But also, could you imagine how heartbreakingly demoralizing that is for the other 480 players in the event? Some rando who's like, I don't know, 1706 total level got lucky and finished one master clue, got a fucking third age pickaxe and ended the event for everybody. Oh god,
he's the only winner.
Terrible.
Like, they're still like $4, right? Mad expensive.
Well, yeah, but then not only is that $4 for you, that's the winning pot for your team.
Oh, true.
Because the event is over. You pull that shit on a Sunday night. we took days off work for this shit. So I'm really trying to avoid a golden snitch anything.
Yeah. It's a bad. I think it's just, you're right. It's a terrible sports mechanic. Moving on though. Gangly Goat Games says worst bingo tile. Alphabet boss unique drops. 26 different boss uniques starting with a different letter of the alphabet. A could equal Awakeners, or B is Berserker Ring, etc. And you have to get all 26 for one tile. That'd be a fun bingo idea. Like it's 26 tiles and they're all A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you go through the list. But not as one tile. No. Dinosaur says in the last bingo event we held for my clan, we had a dragon metal slice from adamant dragons as a tile, which is 1 in 5,000. In hindsight, what the freak was I thinking? But about 3 days into the event, I realized that nobody was interacting with the tile, so I did a retroactive change and swapped it out with a Voidwaker piece. We love a good retroactive change if it's done correctly, and it sounds like it was done correctly. Because a dragon metal slice, adamant dragons, man, they're like, you would think in the progression of the metal types that adamant dragons would be better and easier to kill. Not better, but like easier to kill than rune dragons. But that's the exact opposite because they just made them not AFK at all. It's pretty bad. Buddy Time says, get a Jad pet, Zuck pet, or Soul pet from the Cape turn-in. Getting a pet from the actual run does not count. It must be from when you turn in the Cape.
That's
not
so
the
sticky.
best.
Do you imagine
It's
you get
pretty
the
bad.
Nibbler pet, then you have to turn in your Infernal Cape for a dupe Nibbler pet? Oh, that just seems so bad.
Yeah, that's bad. Mike Turner says, obtain a full set of gold Castle Wars decorative armor. Quick, Mima, how many tickets is that? It's probably like 800
A
tickets,
lot.
right?
It's a shit ton of tickets.
800. How did I know that? That's a lot of tickets, dude.
Probably
They're
because
not
you've
easy to get.
suggested the idea in the past. And we have to say nobody plays the game. We can't do it.
I don't think it was.
If people
But-
played Castle Wars, we could make it happen. If it had a thriving minigame community, we really could make it happen. But we won't subject you guys to dead minigames that you have to grind with your team. At least I won't. I don't know what these other fuckers will do, but I won't do that.
I don't know that anything from Castle Wars will ever be a drop because it's not RNG dependent. So next up we have Mr. Curtains who says Repentance. Get the Penance Queen pet. Ugh.
Banned from the Discord.
Ugh. Ugh. Sorry, I just got physically sick reading that. Blyron says kill Zamorak in RS3 as a tile for an old school RuneScape bingo. That's hilarious, by the way.
That would really throw a wrench in things.
It's bad, but like anything to do with RS3 in an old school RuneScape bingo, just randomly thrown in there. Like get 99 smithing in RS3. What? Makes no sense. Daniel says, hey, Danik is here, aka Oxie's beautiful curly locks. Obtain this one single item, a jar of dreams. If you don't know why, look it up. Thanks for the episode. It made my Thursday. Ooh woo, ooh woo, ooh woo, ooh woo. Oxie, OMG, ooh woo. His locks are beautiful. I mentioned something about his hair at the start of before we started recording, and he got really defensive. And I wish you wouldn't get defensive because I do like your hair, Oxie.
I need to defend my defensiveness here. He said, "Oh, I can't wait for Oxie to turn his camera on so I can see what his hair looks like." This son of a bitch for weeks
I said
has been like,
oh
"Oh no, I said I'm not done. I'm not done." For weeks, he has been like, "So you afraid of the barber? You terrified of getting your hair cut? You don't know how razors work? You're gonna brush that hair?" I say, "I have." He's like, It's like I'm talking to a 50-year-old judgmental mom. What the hell?
Oh,
Same, you get no, it gives the same aura as someone who goes, "Oh, you have tattoos? That's so unprofessional. How are you ever gonna find a job? Oh, your hair's long at home on a Sunday in your own house recording a hobby for RuneScape? That's so unprofessional. How are we gonna be professional with this? Oh my god." So go ahead, Karen. Shit all over the hair. Do whatever you want. But
I regret
shit's mine up here.
I regret saying anything. and I won't say anything in the future. Next up, we have Swole, who says, as a team, you must get one of each: Archer, Warrior, and Magic Helm from Barbasalt. Again, it's not RNG dependent. So, like,
It is, actually. That's not a
Is it?
horrendous tile.
is it? It's not one of the ones you can just like unlock with the points? You have to get it. Is it like a high roll or something?
High gambles.
Oh.
It's a bitch to track with screenshots because you have to get like the exact screenshot and people are gonna fuck it up and they're gonna go, well, does the loot tracker count? Then we're gonna have to be assholes about it. So if we could guarantee, like, it's not an impossible tile. It's really not, because I've been in other events where they have that be a thing before. So, which I'll know about 2 barbarian assault tiles
Swole.
this season.
Swole might get his dream.
Yeah.
Cram says, cause frick 'em, 3 players out of your team must craft a piece of gold, craft and place a gold sink in their POH. 3 different people.
Isn't it
Put in
like
a gold sink.
300 mil?
Yeah, it's extortionate. It's a lot of money. And you have to have 3 people do it. So now you know how we're going to draft this season. Not based on skill, but bank value. That becomes the most important factor because this tile exists. Other Fire Angel says, Fashionscape. Acquire a full outfit, hat, top, bottom, boots, gloves, cape, and necklace that grants no bonuses. Hard mode is the outfit must actually match and be fashionable. So is this something that we would like dictate beforehand, or are you just submitting things that have no bonuses that is a hat? I want to know. That sounds fun for like a throwaway tile. If we could figure out like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like the 7 different aspects and call it like Forced Fashionscape or something. Could be kind of cool. Mima says our RWT tile. Let's go. Yeah, for the gold sink one. That's actually not a bad idea.
The RWT tile is a pretty terrible tile.
Just like
not gonna
just
lie.
buy the gold. Buy the gold and put the sink. 'Cause you won't get banned. You will. Next up, Rodis says, I've got this one in the bag as the worst tile. As a team, create one RS3 account and get it to 2K total by the end of the bingo. It's worth 10 points. See, I love it. I love the random, like, do this in RS3 while you're trying to do this in old school. It's just great. But it's an everyone plays account, so I don't think that would be very hard. Silly, yes, but not hard. Voltoro says, beginner's luck. As a team, obtain every beginner clue unique. This is the worst because beginner clues are stinky. They really are. Like, the fact that you can get like a singular chaos rune as a drop just feels bad. The uniques aren't that bad. Like, the drop rate, I don't think for those. Let's see. The drop rate is 1 in 360. Oh, wow. That's actually really bad. Never mind. The drop rate for everyone, all of them, is 1 in 360. Any unique. And then to hit the table, you can get more than 1 unique. So players obtain 1 unique per 12 clue scrolls. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's a lot. I'm not even going to do the math. That would be a lot of beginner clues. And no dupes, too, I would assume. Mr. Sutulu says, get an anti-venom 4 from a master casket. Okay, what is the role? What's the rarity on an anti-venom 4?
Whenever it's real specific, it just means it's bad.
Master casket, anti-venom. I'm going to do control 4. Control F. All right, I found it. It is 1 in 13,616. 1 in 13K. It's on the mega rare table. Holy cow. If you get a clean Torstal, if you get 50 noted Torstals as a drop, it's also 1 in 13,000.
Oh.
From a master clue. It's like the troll. And a cabbage as well. 3 cabbages from a master clue is also a troll drop. Why do they do that? I hate that they do that. Intentionally put troll drops on the table. I don't like it. And finally, on our community question this week, Hydraulic Monkey says, book a vacation. As a team, gather a copy of every book in old school RuneScape. I want to know what counts as like a book. Like, are you talking quest items or PvP books or like
PvP books. What's a
not PvP
PvP
books?
book?
PVM. So like the Mage Training Arena, Mage Arena books, quest books, all the book pages.
Oh,
That's going to do it for the community question. Thank you for everyone who answered. I'm just going to not put a community question this week and really contemplate whether or not this is something we're going to continue doing just based on the ease of doing it for all of our listeners. The fact that we had it so readily accessible on Spotify, and Spotify is like one of the higher listened to platforms that we have. It made it really easy to do this as a thing that makes sense. But if we make everybody go to YouTube, I don't know. I'll really have to consider. But we may or may not continue doing this in the future. Just got to talk to Oxie about it. But thank you for answering the question. Going to throw it over to Oxie now for the achievables of the weekables.
it is time, folks. This section ain't going anywhere. At least I don't think it is. Right? At least unless something changes with Discord or Google Docs, I don't think achievement of the week is going anywhere. So, kicking us off this week, like Michael said, we do have quite a few achievements this week. So, starting with miscellaneous, because it is the smallest one, we have one miscellaneous achievement. Just one. Our boy Raccoon, the gay one, the bi one, the rodent one, Raccoon, he got his diary cape in these last 2 weeks. By the way, there's also a 2-week time stretch because somebody didn't do achievement of the week last week. So, if you didn't get shouted out last week, hopefully you will this week. Hopefully I'm not a dumbass and didn't miss it. Additionally, in the miscellaneous achievement, just because I always think it's neat, Chips had his second kid. I don't know if that's Chips FE from the CC, but Chips in Discord, second kid. Cheesy King. In the combat achievements portion of this, the combat section, we do have 4 new first fire caves. Tay Bodie, Jay Plant, Rummy Tumbles, and Moist Sean all got their first fire capes this past week. 4 very exciting fire capes. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see any of them. I was online for Moist Sean's fire cape last night, which is huge. We met him at one of the Xpwaste meetups, Xpwaste South. So good to see the boys making that kind of progress. We do have quite a few firsts this week as well. Chaotic Dad Bud, Jack Monroe, and Super Soft Salad all killed Gauntlet for the first time. Pseudo Wolf killed Gauntlet and Zulra for the first time. And Beats by Steve and Biggery killed Zulra for the first time. See that little smooth transition there? In the combat achievements section of the combat achievements portion of Achievement of the Week, Anzo completed the Elite Combat achievements. That's the only one I saw. So if you also did combat achievements, I'm sorry I missed it, but Anzo got the Elite CAs. As far as kits are concerned this week, Fishy Bun and the Taco Daddy both achieved their Missouri kit this week. I loved in the levels and achievements chat, really right before Fishy Bun posted his thing, Doom post like, hey guys, did you see that glitch where like you can complete a 350 without it actually being a 350? It's a crazy glitch that people have been exploiting. And then 30 seconds later, Fishy Bun posted about the 350 kit, which I'm pretty sure they were both on. They were both on the same raid together.
Yeah,
I would imagine, which is
freaking awesome.
Always fun to see the shit talking back and forth between the boys. As always, there's one combat achievement that we saved for the very end. So this week, Elite M7 and Goose, who was in a race against Habitat, who we may or may not also hear from in this Achievement of the Week section, they both obtained their Infernal Capes this week. So proud of you guys. I say it every time we get one, but now you can play the game, and I think you're going to start to understand what we mean when we say there will literally never be anything in this game that has as much pressure behind it as your first Infernal Cape. So good ship. I'm pretty sure Goose also won money from Habitat from that too.
I was going to say that's like the best money per hour. It's just like
it was the best money per hour. So as the story goes, I believe Apathy was like 6 or 7 hours away from maxing. And he told Goose, hey, if you get your Infernal Cape before I max, I'll give you like 50 mil.
Was it
And then,
apathy or
like-
habitat?
Was it Habitat? I'm sorry. I'm
think it was
looking at
Habitat.
Apathy's name in the recording booth. It's
Yeah, it was
Goose and
Habitat.
Habitat. Yeah. Sorry, Apathy. I'm looking at your name in the recording booth chat right now. But yeah, no, they made the bet, and then like 4 hours later, Goose got the cape. And I remember being in VC with Habitat that morning, and someone's like, "Yeah, Goose made it post healers, but died to the Ranger." And Habitat's like, "Shit, I gotta get home. I gotta get home and start doing some agility."
Because I think he was able to max spoilers that night. Like they completed both of them on the same day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's just that Goose was slightly quicker.
Which is a wonderful transition into the final section of Achievement of the Week, the skilling portion of this bit. And we have hella 99s, as we always do, and we go 2 weeks without doing it. So let me slick the hair back, crack the neck, crack the knuckles, and get right into the skilling category. So kicking us off, Danish Deity achieved 99 attack. Leaf Haggart achieved 99 Slayer. I hope I'm saying that name right, but I don't know. Canister Shell achieved 99 agility. Ninja Crumpet, a lovely name to add to the collection of lovely names, achieved 99 farming. My boy and former bingo teammate Tank Neek achieved 99 woodcutting. Robert Shiftley achieved 99 defense. Gowerly achieved 99 smithing and 99 fire making. Once again, cruising their way to max. Jimmo THC 207 achieved 99 strength. Nice Sniffer achieved 99 farming. Achilles 20 achieved 99 mage and 99 strength. Tanto Tricks achieved 99 herblore. Heiny 4 achieved 99 range. Coiny achieved 99 range and 99 HP. Smiley Prophet achieved 99 crafting. Radmiral achieved 99 slayer. Elite Oreo Dunker achieved 99 farming. Saga 7 achieved 99 wood cutting. Big Thickums, another name to add to the collection of good names, achieved 99 hunter. Orpheus achieved 99 fletching. Lack of Morels achieved 99 cooking. Michael achieved 99 mining. Pew, 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 pew. He did beat me, that
Untrimmed.
rat bitch. He did beat me, that rat bitch. I thought about locking in and getting 99 fire making. And then I thought, no.
Wintertodt.
Anyways, Skalaxin got 99 agility. Try RS Wiki achieved 99 strength. Miyamo Poppy achieved 99 cooking. Cram Snitchram achieved 99 range. Raymer achieved 99 attack and 99 defense. And Indalo achieved 99 farming just as we were about to start recording this here podcast. Seppi J also got 99 farming, and now I don't know if that is Indalo. Seppi J, are you Indalo? I don't think so, because you got different clan notifications. So I think Seppi J got 99 farming as well. But I'm not 100% sure. He's not in the recording booth chat anymore. But as of, holy shit, like an hour ago, Seppi J also got 99 farming.
Ooh.
Sick. We do have some total level achievements this week. My boy Modern Major General achieved 2K total level, as did Alpha Hotel Quebec. And then Smiley Prophet achieved 2200 total level. I have a question for you guys for Achievement of the Week for the total levels. Do y'all care if 2100 gets shouted out? Is that something y'all want? Because I don't have any 2100s written down, because 2100, I know, like, I've been inconsistent with it. But for the last couple of months, I've not really intentionally done 2100 because it doesn't really give you anything, you know?
Yeah.
Same thing. I don't really do anything below 2K. 2K either. So, like, think about it and let me know. Do you want to hear 2100 shouted out? Do you not care? I don't know, because like 22 and 2K total, they give you new worlds. I don't know. Anyways, there's one total level that does supersede all of them. So this week we have 3 max capes. 3 of them.
3?
Huge spoiler alert. Habitat did max his account, and he's 50 mil poorer for it. Stigma Coggin, one hell of a name, also got their max cape this week. And a man who was racing me to max, but just kicked it into a gear I was not capable of kicking it into. Mr. Paul Mohadib achieved 2277 total level as well, with like 7 or 9 99s or something ridiculous like that. Like you got base 98s and then just
Oh,
ripped through all of them and got them done like various times, but super cool. So yeah, 3 people who can truly play the game, you know? Well, I mean, Paul's got to get the Infernal Cape because he's like, I refuse to get a Fire Max Cape. So get in there, Paul. I expect to see you within the next couple of weeks with a cape. Get in there. But yeah, that is a huge accomplishment for you guys. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be at anybody's maxing party this past week. Again, being on vacation and just like the fact that I was even able to attend your 99 mining party was a shocker to me because I really was like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if I'm gonna make it because like I was like going to a state park that day. You know,
well, I kind of
like
planned it around you being there, so it made sense. Like I waited at least 12 to 24 hours from the time I got like to 76 XP till, and I'm like, hey, are you guys online? Nobody responded. I'm like, cool, I'll do it tomorrow. So
yeah,
it
like
makes
I was
sense.
gone. My phone eventually like died when I was out at the state park too. I'm like, God, I hope he's not like waiting for me to do it because like obviously I'll be there, but like it's gonna be so rough. So hopefully, I'm glad I didn't delay your party by too much. But yeah, if you guys did something awesome, if you guys achieved anything noteworthy, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL and send it in our levels and achievements chat where you can post literally any achievement that you want. We do shout out a fair few achievements that we stick to every week, but just because we don't shout some out doesn't mean they're not worthy of achievements. Right now, for example, the recording booth chat is rioting because I didn't shout out Mima's completed Dragonstone armor set that he now has on the collection log. And while I do commend the commitment, what's my rule, folks? Drops are not achievements. So unfortunately, sorry, Mima, that's not an official shout out. It's an example. If you think it's cool, post it in the levels and achievements chat, and other people will appreciate it as well. Why is that, Michael? Why will other people appreciate it?
I don't know.
Because we are in the best RuneScape Discord in the world.
True.
Objectively, the best RuneScape Discord on this planet of Earth. We are here and we want you to come hang out with us. Discord.gg/OSRSTNL. To close this show out, it's a bit of a, I would say it's a bit of a shorter one. We're like 2 hours and 20 minutes. RIP the community question section, which always takes an egregious amount of time. So maybe these episodes will be shorter if we don't do community questions anymore.
You know what
Who
I'm
knows?
thinking? Before you transitioned into fun question, I'm thinking, what if I started a rival section where I did shout out drops and it's called the awesome drops section. And I just go through awesome drops and I shout out certain ones. And
could be cool.
The rival to achievement of the week or something. I don't
Could
know.
be cool. Could also be a hell of a lot shorter. but we'll see. If you guys have any idea of what you guys want to see from either achievement of the week or community question or anything comes up, you're like, hey, remember back in the day when you guys used to do like recommendations? That was awesome for those like 2 episodes you did that when you first started in like 2021. We'd love to see that again, I feel like this whole show is recommendations, so it seems a bit of a moot point, but let us know because this whole second half after the break is your half. This is our community half. We talk a lot, you talked a lot with Hannah last week about how like we're trying to draw people in, and if people are not connected, nobody is going to care, right? Which does have some merit to it. If nobody knows the show and nobody knows us, why would you click on the show, right? You don't really have a point to. Sometimes people do because they're looking for a podcast or they want long form second monitor content. Whatever the reasons are, that's great. But this second half of the show is not about attracting new people. It's about shouting out the people that are already here. So let us know what you guys want to see in addition to Fun Question or Achievement of the Week and Patreon. Because now the community question section isn't dead, but like, man, Spotify truly just like Thanos snapped our question away. And like it is still possible to do on YouTube, but like we'll feel it out, you guys. Tell us in the patrons chat in Discord. Tell us in the Xpwaste chat in Discord, whatever it is. Keep us posted because this is your segment.
Let us know.
But now it's fun question time. Now we're going to close the show in the same way we've closed the show Ah, damn. Like 150, what is this, 159 times? Something like that. I think
Did
this
we
is
have fun
159.
questions? Did we have a fun question in the first episode? I don't remember.
Feel like
We need the lore
maybe
master. Where's Swole?
I think we did. No, I think we did because I think it was what's your favorite pet? I think it was.
Oh.
But this is way back in the day. I'm talking like way back in the day, you know?
Oh, okay. Well, if anything happens, it's not happening to the fun question because I think we've stated that like no matter what happens in the show, we're gonna do the fun question. Like the show could end, but then Oxie and I would still have to record every week and just ask a fun question and post it on Spotify because like it's not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
we have a fun question from Otis in the fun question section on Discord. He actually, I think he DM'd this to me and I posted it. And so he says, let's change it up a bit. How about a few would you rathers? You can use any or all of these. There's only 3, so I feel like we should go through all of them. So the first one is Oxie. Would you rather have 24 hours with Mod Ash today or Andrew Gower back in 2006? And what would you want to do or ask them? And he gave me a bit of an addendum. He says, edit to my fun question. You would be meeting Andrew Gower back in 2004, but you are an adult. So like you now getting to meet the Andrew Gower back when they were like about to put out RS2. So would you rather have Mod Ash now or Andrew Gower in 2004?
I think I would want to have Mod Ash now for so many great. Number one, Andrew Gower seems like a great guy. Would love to talk to him. Would love to get his mindset on some of the things he's doing with RuneScape because that's super cool. But at the same time, like I've talked about on the show before, and like we've kind of said, like, you know what happens if you like 3-tick granite in 2024? You get really good XP rates. You know what happens if you 3-tick granite in 2005? You get fucking banned because they think you're breaking the game. You know what happens when you AGS Gmall super quick? You get banned because they think you're like botting because people weren't that good back then. The game, like the ways that we have broken the game that are acceptable for, and not even like breaking the game, the ways that we have made use of the tick system. Yeah, manipulated and made use of the tick system that we have to our exposure or to our disposal rather. Those are all like bannable offenses back in the day. So like, I don't know if I would have as much fun talking to Andrew Gower as an adult who knows RuneScape in 2004 because I would be like, you know, well, isn't it crazy how like if you like prayer flick like that, and he'd be like, what? And I don't want him to like, I wouldn't want to like change the history of the game. That said, I also love hearing stories from people who were there. You know, I love it. I think that's super cool. So I think getting to sit with Mod Ash and talking about the development of some of these things that we know and love in this game, and also like, what were some of your creative processes that led you to some pieces? Like, you know, why'd you write QoL? Or were you guys just like down horrendously for a piece at the time? And you're just like, let me go whip something up on the piano, you know? Like, like those are questions that involve both the history of old school RuneScape and the history of RS2 that I think would be super fun to like just get to know for an interview. And then if I have the whole 24 hours with him, tea with Mod Ash would be also pretty sick. You know?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long time. 80.
It is a long time.
I only need a couple hours for a good interview. So I think I would like, I'm trying to make a case for myself on talking to Andrew, but I don't know. I don't have one. Because, I mean, other than trying to influence the game to where potentially, okay, so if you're talking to Andrew in 2004 and he's like coding the RS2 launch, you just slip in some like, hey, did you know that like you can delay actions by using certain items? Like you can manipulate the tick system. Did you know that? And he's like, no, I didn't. And then they like code to fix it. And then that never happens. Like you just changed how people interact with this game, and maybe certain people don't end up playing. So like that one little thing, anything you really say with your knowledge of the game today, could change a lot of people's lives. I think. Well, like in the grand scheme, not change them too much. But like some people may not even play RuneScape. If you so say like I don't know, you come to him and you're like, hey, you should have like a way to like poll the player base and get their opinions before you do some like crazy stuff. Like I think that would be a great way to run this game. Like you give them that little hint, and then like EOC never happens or something because the player base just doesn't want it or they're not ready for it. Maybe they don't do that. And then we never get old school RuneScape and we're all just kind of stuck playing, not stuck, but like we're all still playing RS3 and old school never happens. So there's so many things that could go wrong if you were to have 24 hours with Andrew Gower, that I think Mod Ash is the way to go, because you're right. Like he has uh so much knowledge and experience and it's very nostalgic conversation to talk to him, because I think he's literally grown up with this game. I don't know how I don't know how old Mod Ash is now, but he's been around for like 15, 20 years with Jagex. And it's a long time. It's a long time. He's like grown up with this game. So yeah, I think definitely Mod Ash. The next one. Would you rather go to the next RuneFest or go back in time and visit the first RuneFest?
Absolutely the next RuneFest. Absolutely the next RuneFest. I mean, like,
yeah, none of my friends are at the next one or at the first
none of
one.
my friends are at the first one. And then, like, of the people that I know, I don't know any of them at the first one. You know,
like all the creators.
It's a small, humble event that I'm sure is very fun and very memorable for the people who are there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's something special about being there when these kinds of things are announced. You know, it's one of the reasons I always wanted to go to E3 when I was younger, because I always wanted to be in the room when they announced like a new Halo game or something. Like I wanted to experience that hype. Exactly, the room where it happened. You know, I really wanted to be there for it. So I think like some of that would be cool at a RuneFest event, but I don't think I would get nearly as much out of it as if I went like today, for example. You know, because like I know people who would be going to RuneFest. You know, I wouldn't be like, obviously we'd have our like Xpwaste crew, which would be like the core group that we would, you know, travel with and stay with and people like that. But it's been like fucking 6 years of content creation in this space. I've met a person or two who I could like socialize with, you know, and I think like the next RuneFest will provide that opportunity for me and so many more people who have entered in the community. And like the same could be said for an event like TwitchCon or something like that. I know a lot of American creators have gone to TwitchCon as their like meeting point for the RuneScape homies.
Oh, neat.
Though, I don't know. I myself, I've never really had an interest in going to TwitchCon, but I guess it's like a very common thing that RuneScape creators do is they'll go to TwitchCon, not because they're like big streamers or anything like that, just because they're like, you know, it's open to the public, everyone's going, you know.
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know. Like I think for me, I would have to see what happened at the first RuneFest, because like obviously you know what happens, and that would be the basis from what I'm judging on. Like if something really cool happened, I feel like I would want to be there to experience it. But I don't know. I'm not privy to it. It might literally just be like 100 dudes at like a small convention center and like everybody's wearing party hats and drinking wizard mind bombs. Who knows? But
which sounds pretty sick, not gonna lie.
That'd be a pretty cool meetup. But for me, yeah, without knowing what actually happened, probably I would pick the next one that's coming up for all the reasons that you said. Like we're gonna meet a bunch of the community. We're gonna meet people who haven't been able to come to like one of our meetups that we've been able to get close to in the community. And you get to visit another country. I mean, you get to visit the other country by going to the first RuneFest, but I don't know. Am I an adult or like, am I going to be like 16? Because I think that's when the first RuneFest happened. It was like 10 years ago or something. Probably not. I don't know when it happened. First one for me, probably not. And finally, the last would you rather. Would you rather have been maxed in 2007, that era, or would you have rather been a player moderator in the same era? I think PMods had a bigger role back then. It's more of a prestigious thing. So
Neither. Probably maxed, I guess.
yeah, I would think maxed because like there wasn't a ton of people who were actually 2277. Was it 2277 or is 2007 is when did summoning come out? 2008 or 2009? So yeah, I think we did have Hunter by then. So it would have been either 2277 or 2376. And there wasn't a ton of people. I think I want to say that we didn't even have like a top 25, but I may be wrong. We probably did. Oh, wait, surely we had a top 25. Front page was all maxed. I would choose maxed. And if I'm transporting myself now back into 2007, like the knowledge that I have of this game and the playtime that I have available, I would 100% be able to max. Even without Rune Light.
You'd be like a god. You'd essentially be a skilling god at that point. You know?
Yeah, if you could give me who I am now with the skill set that I have, I would be both a PVM god and a skilling god. Because like the hardest thing back in the day, I think, was like King Black Dragon or Jad. Those were like the two ultimate things that you could do in this game. Maybe like Cowfight Queen was hard, Barrows was hard, but no.
Cowfight Queen's still hard. Cowfight Queen still beat the piss out of you just for looking.
Yeah, but
at
you
her
did it with
funny.
Verax back in the day, and like
yeah,
Verax
and it
was, like,
sucks.
the god
You ever
armor.
done Cowfight Queen with Verax? It sucks.
I did. I have.
It's
Bro, I
bad.
was doing wildy bosses when Verax was the meta, like killing Callisto. Everybody had full Verax. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, it sucked.
Get sat down. That's it. That's the fun question. Thank you, Otis. Always a good time when Otis posts a fun question. And he's back. He's back in the Patreon, so he has access to the fun questions channel. So you guys might hear more from Otis in the future. But that's gonna do it for this episode, folks. You made it. You made it to the end. I have subdued 315 herbivores. And I just got 83 hunter, so I can catch dragon implings in a bottle, really. But no use to do that. It's going to do it for the episode. All of the links you could ever want for anything ever, like if you're trying to plan your next vacation or figure out what you're going to get from McDonald's, it's in the description. I promise you should go look. It's going to be there. You can follow our social media. You can buy our merch. We still promise to donate to a charity. That's going to happen. Oxie and I have just been very busy. I don't have a job anymore, so like a lot of my personal life has been wrapped up in trying to figure out, finding a job. So I haven't even done the stuff for like the clan restructure that we need to do, just because I'm procrastinating. So, you can buy our merch. You can, what else do we have in there? We have our Patreon, all of our social media. I might stream this week, so if you see me online, come and say hi. But you can follow us on Twitch. You can do all that fun stuff. That's going to do it. Love you guys so much. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.